I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. We're coming up on the 2-week mark for the SAG strike.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of wondering, how long do you think it's going to last?
I have no idea. I mean, I think that's a question a lot of people are asking, and I have no idea. I'd love for it to end soon, but I really don't know.
Obviously Bob Iger got a lot of attention for his comments a week or more ago about the strike and not being the right time for this and that kind of thing. Just kind of wondering, what would be your message to some of these CEOs who...
Well, look, we've worked with the CEOs before. I assume we're going to work with them again. And a lot of these guys have been real champions of the creative community. And be the heroes. Come to the table. Make a deal. A deal has to be made at some point anyway. Get to the table. Make something happen. It feels like whatever negotiation supposedly is happening feels like it feels non-existent at this point. So my hope is that these guys get organized and have a real conversation with both the WGA and SAG-AFTRA so that we can get to a resolution, because SAG and WGA want to make deals. I just don't think that they're talking to anybody. Now, I don't know that for sure, but that's certainly how it feels and seems.
We're not just seeing the two unions in Hollywood strike. The hotel workers in LA are on strike. UPS was talking about their workers going out. Do you think some of these strikes are maybe the beginning of, when it comes to the labor movement in America, that workers are just kind of, pushing back a little bit against, especially in the creative community, against AI and some of this big tech?
Yeah, I think all of that exists, but at the end of the day, I think we're all fighting for the same thing, which is protection and compensation. And clearly we don't feel protected wherever you are. And we see the compensation dwindling away. And, we didn't strike SAG-AFTRA, and the WGA didn't strike for no reason. We struck because our deal was up, and it's time to adjust to what has changed in the business, and to make a minor adjustment feels disproportionate to what has obviously changed in a massive, massive way. So, I think that exists for everybody. Your deal's up. Let's negotiate. Let's please, this is about compensation and protection, bottom line. And until we feel like we're getting fair compensation, until we feel like we're protected, this is going to continue to go on. And really, it's such a bummer to think about all the people that are affected by this, that are outside of. It's not just the actors, it's not just the writers, it's the entire, specifically in Los Angeles, this community, the people who are on our crews, who, specific for Cedric and I, who work on a network television show. We all thought we were going back to work last month, at least the writers. The people who work in our office, the people who do our catering, everybody. Those people are just sort of waiting to see, just like the rest of us, when this is going to end. So, I don't know that. I don't know that the other side factors that in the way that I would like them to, but I hope that at some point that motivates them, at least in some way, to make this work.
When you look at sort of the arc of your career and the residuals that you've, kind of worked your way through, have you seen kind of a dramatic increase? Have you stayed the same? Can you kind of...
Yeah, look, yes, they definitely are different when it comes to streaming, but I've been very fortunate, and this is, this is really about, I don't know. It's a tough conversation, but I think when you have people who are trying to make that mark, the 26,000, to get their health, to get their to qualify for it, and the amount of work that is already so difficult to get to that point, and the amount of now work that you have to put in to get to that point, it just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. You know, knowing that like a rerun of a show on a network TV show used to get you there, and you were like, oh my God, it was like an exciting thing that would happen. And now you know, like, oh, it doesn't matter that it was streamed 1 billion times. So I don't know.
Well, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Talking about your brother. Well, we thought Bill might want to be paparazzi tonight. But he kept saying that you never talked to him, so I decided to jump in and see.
So, go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll go after. We'll go back.
Oh, okay. So tell our viewers, what is the purpose for the ping pong tonight?
It's for our charity Kershaw's Challenge, and this is our 10th year that we've been doing ping pong for purpose, but we raise money for different beneficiaries really across the world now, and it's in Africa and the Dominican Republic and here in LA, and we just raise money for kids is basically the goal, and so we have different beneficiaries across those places, and tonight's kind of the culmination of that to bring awareness and raise more money for them, and every year it seems to get better and bigger and raise more money, and it's just a ton of fun. Yep.
What can you say about? Obviously, it's for charity and it's very cause.
So, guys, we're approaching week 2 of the SAG strike, and basically, Bryan, you really seem to hit a lot of nerve and energize the rank and file with your comments the other day. Kind of where do you see things going at this point?
Slowly. They're going very, very slowly.
Very slowly.
There's a lot of issues that have created a chasm between the actors and the AMPTP. And until we're able to get back to the table, which we are more than willing to do, and we've told them so, we want to keep talking through this strike, because a strike is damaging to everyone, and not just the people involved, but the ripple effect of it. And so we want to end this as soon as possible. There are issues that really need a lot of discussion and a lot of thought behind it, and hopefully cooler heads will prevail.
That's it?
Ping Pong. He's Ping. I'm Pong. It's like, that would be a good name for for a little koala bear or something.
Yeah, I'm just gonna yell Ping and Pong.
Ping Pong.
Yeah, just do it.
We'll respond to
Yeah.
it.
Anybody else turns around, we gotta go.
It's every time he hits it, he goes ping, and then we have to all
Yeah.
and then I go pong.
Yeah.
He goes ping.
It's just the way we play.
It's just the way we
It
play.
works. You'll see.
It's call and repeat.
You'll see.
Right?
You'll see.
Call and
I got
repeat.
Ping. Can we get 2 questions?
Sure.
One question, let's do.
On Breaking Bad, he didn't have a head.
No, he had a head. That's all he had.
That's all he had was a head on a tortoise. Head on a tortoise. Well, but he grew it back, as you can see. The head in his body grew back. Yeah, Danny.
Broken conversation. Oh my God.
He's such a nuisance.
Strike right now.
Well, we just answered that, but there's a lot. Read the AP report, and you'll get all that information.
Okay. How about what does it mean to be here and to raise money once again for this incredible charity?
That's a good question. Yeah, it's not that your other question wasn't good. It's just that
I feel you.
The Kershaws are community members, but the last thing in the world they need is to have more activity on their plate. But she is a remarkable human being. Everyone talks about Clayton, and he gets all the limelight. But she's just remarkable.
Both amazing.
And to be able to create this organization and have people come out and raise money for any people that we will ever meet, and it's for kids, and so it's an easy yes.
Yeah, they're a beautiful example of just humans. I mean, the fact that they've stood by each other's sides since high school is just a really incredible thing, and I'm super happy to be here.
Can you imagine if you were with your high school sweetheart still?
Yeah.
You can't imagine that?
I don't want to imagine.
No, you don't want to imagine.
Yeah,
but,
I actually never had a high school sweetheart.
Oh.
It's just one of those things. I was okay.
I had several.
Bryan Cranston really seemed to energize folks.
He did.
He comments over the week. And at this point, the two sides don't even seem to be talking. What do you think it's going to take to bring this to the table?
People like Bryan who have such an amazing impact on all of us. He spoke for all of us. It's just going to be about continuing to get the message out that we're not just a bunch of spoiled people that want more, we're greedy, that the majority of our union are people who are not working very often, can't really make a living at this. And we got to get them to the table, and I think this is going to take an incredible amount of patience and messaging, and we just got to stick to it.
When it comes to residuals, and especially with the streaming services, what does SAG really want to see in terms of getting to the ground?
I probably couldn't answer that. I'm not a SAG. I'm a SAG member since 1977, but I'm not a representative, so I wouldn't want to answer that question. But I think it's really more just about messaging and letting people know what we're fighting for. The residual situation is very. It's a really difficult thing. I've been getting residuals my whole life, and sometimes they're 3 cents. Sometimes it's literally a check for 3 cents. And so I've been fortunate enough to work and continue to be able to support my family, but not everybody has that option. So residuals are very important. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Get Joel McHale to come back.
Hello. How are you?
So we are approaching. We are coming up on week 2 of the sex.
Yeah.
And there you go. Thank you. Bryan Cranston had some very empowering words at the rally earlier in the week. Really seemed to energize people. Where do you see things going right now when these two sides can't even seem to get to the table?
Well, one of the problems is, people on top are making a lot of money right now, and they don't want to share. I understand that. Okay, greed is greed, but it's like, we've got people that are in SAG that can't even afford to live in LA. You know what I mean? So it's like, wait a minute, guys, we gotta just be fair. Figure if one of your kids was trying to get into the movies and was working as an extra or just made it a SAG, they couldn't live in LA. Oh, no, wait. Yes, they could. They could live in Beverly Ass Hills with you. Punk.
Do you feel like we're at a critical point here when it just comes to the labor movement?
Yes.
Where not to be the hotel workers in a way, UPS was talking about going out. It seems like it's the American workforce.
I know hotel workers that are living way out in the desert and driving because they can't afford. Do you understand? The price of living in Los Angeles is too big, and it's like, so we just got to get fair. That's all. We got to get fair. I'm so glad that some of the unions said, okay, let's do it. Because they know. But you greedy suckers, you're like saying, no. Let's hold them down. And it's like I make good money. But right now, I'm buried in taxes. Okay? So I have to work that out. But this strike is killing me. I can't pay what I'm supposed to be paying for my taxes. So it's like I'm thinking, man, imagine the guy that's making $18 an hour and not working all the time.
What would be sort of your Hollywood ending to this strike?
Fair. Just both sides say, hey, this is fair. That would be unbelievable. That would be godsend.
Well, thanks, Danny.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate it. Hey, man.
How are you? Yes.
Nice hat.
Thank you.
Name the time. Yes.
You had 3 deep cut. You had 3 deep cut.
And I'm here for yo. I was in one of the upper seats and I was a kid and I was jumping up and down. I broke the seat.
Sure. Been around for movies. Yeah. What can you say about the Kershaw?
Ready for the big leagues, and then you have a manager like Tommy Lasorda that is there to keep you going and give you a nickname. I think it's a celebration of the whole organization and what happened in my career.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Is it okay if we ask you about the strike?
Sure.
How are you feeling? Actually, an event where you all are able to come together and an opportunity maybe to talk to the CEOs directly.
I think the CEOs are getting the message loud and clear, and the people in SAG are doing a great job of getting that message out and holding the line, and they can speak to the issues more articulately than I can. But I think it's clear that there needs to be some changes made in the industry, and I think that it'll get resolved.
Casey, Bryan Cranston had some very energizing words earlier this week in New York at one of the rallies. What do you think it's going to take to get these two sides just to the table so they can start talking?
I don't know, and I don't know what Bryan said, but he's a smart guy, so I'll look forward to reading what he said. What will it take? I think when people realize that the artists are the people who are making this and that nothing's going to get made without the actors and the writers, then maybe that'll force a little more flexibility in the negotiations.
Thank you.
How was your group?
One TV show to guest star, I would probably want to do. I would say probably Power. No, Snowfall. I'm gonna go Snowfall. I